Hi, Mike in Japan here, and today is Monday. I currently have a day off today because I had to go to one of my schools on Saturday. The reason why I went to my school on Saturday was because we had a parents' observation day. And that meant that parents would come to the school on the weekend and observe a full day of lessons. That was stressful for a number of reasons. One, you had to meet a certain standard. Two, all the teachers were way more busy than they should have been. So I had none of the technology I usually have, like a laptop or like an iPad. That made it more stressful for me to kind of think of my lesson plan on the spot. But it was fun overall. During the first period, my 6th and 5th grade classes had to put on a performance for their parents, which was really fun. So my 6th grade classes did kind of a synopsis, an abridged version of Disney movies. So one of it was Aladdin, the other was Frozen, the other was Zootopia, and at the end of each synopsis or abridged version, they would sing the more famous songs. So Let It Go, A Whole New World, and Zootopia, I'm not too sure, but I think it was called Try Again. So my 5th grade classes, they did a folktale called Urashima Taro or something like that, but it was my first time hearing it, so I thought it was really interesting. The unfortunate part was that they kind of did their little English bit without my consultation, which makes me kind of sad because I would have loved to help them out. So after their performances, second period I had a break, so I had time to prepare for my lessons. Third and fourth period was just regular classes, which wasn't too bad, except it was a brand new unit and I was kind of nervous teaching it because it's brand new to me. And on top of that, I had parents coming in watching me. It's funny too because I would be drilling these kids with vocabulary and be like, this is graduation ceremony, this is entrance ceremony, and then the kids would say graduation ceremony, entrance ceremony, and then I can see the parents in the back saying, graduation ceremony, entrance ceremony. So they're getting a free English lesson too. So that was pretty cool. So for lunch, I ate with the 3rd grade class, and their teacher started a game called Shiratori or Shiritori while they were eating, and what they did was say one word like dog, and then the last letter would be G, so the next person would have to start a word with the letter G. So goat, and then tag, G again, giraffe, E, elephant, so like that. So they had about 30 students or something, and how the class was set up was there would be a student sitting in the middle in a circle, and then outside of that would be another circle. So we started off in the middle circle going around, and then towards the outside, and I wasn't aware that I was participating, and they were all doing this in Japanese, so it made it much more difficult for me. So by the time it got to me, one of the students said something something something, and it ended with wa, and the teacher looked at me, and I kind of just looked dumbfounded, and I was like this, and then I said, watashi? And then the teacher was like, oh, very good, very good. But I was surprised because I was just asking about myself. So for those that don't know, watashi means me, and I somehow passed that, so that was good. That was good. I got it with the kids. So after lunch, I had about 5 minutes of break time, which I wasn't aware of because typically after lunch I would have about a 45-minute break before my next class starts, my 4th period class. But again, no one told me this, but the schedule was more condensed. It was a shortened day, so class ended about at 1 p.m. I had a special needs class right after lunch, and I have not prepared for that yet because I plan to do it after lunch. So since no one told me, I had to improvise, and I'm so glad that the students were amazing. So I grabbed a bunch of English books and just read very slowly to them in English. There was zero plan involved. It was just trying to communicate with them in English in any form or way, and I chose to read books, and that ended up really good. After that lesson, I went to my Tanto sensei, who is my person in charge of me specifically, and I asked her like, okay, I wasn't aware that it was a shortened day, like what's going on? And she told me like, oh, there's a bazaar going on, and I got confused because she said it with a Japanese accent. I'm like, there's a buzzer going on? What's a buzzer? And then she kept saying bazaar, bazaar, and I thought, I literally had no idea. And then I was like, I had to tie 2 and 2 together, and because she said like shopping and stuff, so I thought like a flea market or something, and she's like, yeah. So I thought, she meant bazaar. So from 2 to 3, the students had a flea market going on in their gym, and in Canada I've never experienced that, at least not at elementary schools, so that was really new to me. So when I went down there, it was a really exciting moment for me. So it was a wide open gym, and there were tables with items that were really cheap. Like you would get a can of coffee for like 10 cents, you would get a frying pan for like $1, and they're all like wrapped and brand new and everything too. So they were selling that, and then they had free popcorn, free cotton candy. They had little shops where students were trying to sell stuff that they made, which I think there was a competition involved because they were trying to get me to buy stuff, and I used that opportunity to say, hey, like, how much is this? Can you tell me the price or whatever? Because they kept coming up to me and speaking Japanese, and I'm like, I'm an English teacher. I don't know Japanese. 100 yen? What's that? Can you say it in English? And then they'd be like, 100 yen. And then I would buy something. I mean, it was like hair bands, and I don't have hair, so I guess I bought it for my girlfriend. Other than that, they also had games. Funny story is they had like fishing games, beanbag toss games, and all these other games. And one specific one I didn't know was there. They had sumo arm wrestling, and some of the teachers that day they came up to me and they said like, "Go arm wrestle, arm wrestle, arm wrestle," and I'm like, amongst the teachers, and they're like, yeah. So they got me to go behind the counter, and there's miscommunication there again, and it was arm wrestling with the students, and if they won, they get a little certificate saying something in Japanese that I couldn't read. So I got behind the counter and I did a couple of games, and I lost every single game on purpose. Even though the teachers were like, oh, don't lose, try to win. I was like, oh, but I'm really weak, I can't do it, I can't win. And then somehow a high school student came up and beat me pretty hard, but again, losing. Yeah. So overall, the event lasted like an hour, and it seemed like everyone had fun. I interacted a lot with my students and the teachers especially. I helped them clean up afterwards, and then finished by 3:30, finished by 3:30, which is my typical time to finish. And I ended up going to Ginza to meet my father-in-law, but that's another story for another day. That's it for my life update. Other than that, so far things have been going good. I'm kind of running on autopilot mode right now, so I go to school, I teach, and then I come home and I kind of forget what I do. So it's kind of just autonomous for me right now, but it's been going good. Anyways, I think that's it for my video today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.